Oh, thank you so much.
There's like so many people I want to have on. I interviewed Tim before, but when I saw your name, I was like, oh, this is just exciting.
Oh. Okay, I'm here as well.
Hey, Tim, all right.
This is great.
Hey.
All right. How are you, Tim?
Can you hear me all right?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yep, you sound great. And I hear Paul in there too?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Tim, I'm here.
This is exciting. I didn't want to waste, like I told Paul, I didn't want to waste this interview at all. So interviewing you guys together is going to be fun.
And we appreciate that.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I would love to reschedule you too, and I'll send you dates that I have available back on Twilight tonight. He's having internet issues.
Oh, that's not good. Hold on a second. I have to throw a cat out of my office here.
Oh, I understand. Okay, let's see here. I'll just put on.
I'm ready here. Yeah. One always manages to sneak in and hide somewhere, you know.
Oh, well, normally I have my parrot in here when I do interviews, but I can't because I'm fostering 2 cats.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, solid black kittens.
Oh.
Oh, and are they cute ever? Oh, they're so cute. Oh, I want them so bad, but I have 5 animals. That's a ixnay, no nay.
Well, that's very nice of you, DeeDee, to do that.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, my goal is to save 5 lives this year.
Oh, okay. That's very good.
Yeah, my goal. If it's more, fine. I'm a big animal person.
Oh, yeah, me too. I have 2 dogs.
Yeah. I have 2. I love them too. I've got 2 dogs and 2 birds.
And check this out. Every night we are visited by raccoons and opossums, and I make sure to feed them. And we have we have 2 feral cats that come by. I feed them, and in the daytime I feed the squirrels peanut butter sandwiches.
Oh my gosh.
You're awesome. Yeah. You're as bad as I am.
I'm a total animal lover.
That's great. My possum, Pearl, she comes around and eats the leftover exotic bird feed that I put for the other birds outside. It's great. The animals are great.
Oh, yeah.
My hubby's setting everything up for you guys. How's the book coming?
Which one?
Mimics a month. It mimics the other month.
Oh, it's been released.
I know. I saw that. That's why I was like, I've got to interview you guys again because I think it's an awesome concept and book. So I'm looking forward to this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of good response from it.
Yeah, Tim did a great job.
Yes. And I haven't had a chance to order any of your books, Paul, but you have tons of books too, so we're gonna plug those too. Okay, here we go, guys.
All right.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I have 2 great guys on here. Jeez. Tonight on Twilight Tonic, I'm really lucky tonight. We have the most amazing guest. But tonight, I have 2 great guys, and we're going to discuss a book that they put out together with other authors called Mimics, The Other Among Us. But first of all, let me introduce them. Okay, that was really cute. I'm glad it's pre-recorded. Todd R. Shorts. Tim R. Shorts is an Emmy Award-winning television producer, videographer, and he has a book that I really enjoy called wow, guys, this has been a rough day. I'll just start over.
Deep cleansing breaths.
Yeah, you're doing
I'm so used
you're doing
Friday
fine,
nights.
DeeDee.
Relaxing because he does all the work and I just got to interview. Now I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Tonight on Twilight Tonic, we have the most amazing guest, but tonight I'm blown away by these two guys. And it is an honor to have them on here. Tim R. Swartz, an Emmy Award-winning television producer, videographer, and the author of Gift, the Talking Mongoose. I love that book, by the way. The author of Alien Archives, The Lost Journals of Nikola Tesla, and we also have Paul Dale Roberts on here. He's an actor, but he's a paranormal investigator. He investigates everything from UFOs. Oh my gosh. Wow, UFOs. That's a new one. My husband's gonna kill me.
UFOs.
Tonight we have Paul Dale Roberts. He's an actor. He's a paranormal investigator, guys. He studies anything from UFOs, cryptozoology, ghost demonology, and he also does house clearings, which is amazing. He's an author of several books that are on Amazon. Too cool. He's written articles for the Paranormal Underground and Phenomena magazine. He is part owner of Halo Paranormal Investigations and PR International. Welcome, you guys. We're going to talk about your book tonight, Mimics, The Others Among Us. How are you guys?
Doing fine, DeeDee. Doing fine.
Yep. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for having us on tonight.
Yes,
You're
thank
welcome.
you. Thank you.
Thank you for your patience of my very interesting intro. So, guys, this is a very interesting topic to me. Mimics. Oh my goodness, throughout history they've been around. What is your take, and what made you want to get involved in this, write this book, and bring this to the forefront?
Well, I'll take this one, this part first, DeeDee. The original idea for Mimics, The Others Among Us, and this is Tim Swartz speaking, by the way, came to me because of a book that I bought and still have, believe it or not, so many years ago when I was just a young teenager. Got it at a drugstore back in the days when you could actually buy these decent nonfiction types of paperback books at drugstores. And this was a book written by John Keel, and it was called Our Haunted Planet. Now,
Oh, wow.
yeah, in this book, and it's just kind of a plethora of just all kinds of interesting stories, from UFOs to cryptozoology, ghost hauntings, what have you. But there's a section in there where it starts out with a chapter called Mimics of Man. And it really is just a couple of paragraphs, and John uses it as a kicking off point for other aspects of that section of the book. But John speculates that perhaps there are creatures living among us, and John's original idea was, he was referring to like physical creatures that are mimics of man, that possibly live amongst us, say like in large cities. They're able to, kind of blend in. There'd be loners or hermit types of people, and would be considered, eccentric by neighbors or people who run into them, but look close enough, like a normal person to blend in. But John speculates that these things may not be entirely human. Now, you look at Mother Nature, and there's all kinds of examples of mimics of other species. Usually either, say, a predator who tries to look like something else in order to get something to eat, or prey that looks like something else, so in order not to get eaten. And John kind of takes this and says, well, what if, why should the human species be any different? Do we really think that we are at the top of the food chain? And, he says that, maybe these things are a completely different species that look like us in order to either prey on us or to not be preyed on by us. And that's what got me thinking about the book that all of us eventually ended up writing, called Mimics the Others Among Us. If you look back throughout history, there are thousands of examples of humans interacting with other beings, creatures, whatever you want to call them, that look human, maybe have gone by names such as gods, angels, demons, fairies, spirits, what have you, and either look like us because they do look like us, or they can look like us, like shapeshifters or something like that.
Right.
So you take that into more modern times, where the UFO phenomena has kind of superseded a lot of these old ideas and beliefs about these types of creatures who have interacted with humanity for all of these centuries. And, people may not believe anymore in, angels or fairies and the like, but the idea of extraterrestrials, maybe that look human, could be more possible. So, with this book, we try to examine all of this, all of these different ideas, from from the idea of gods or spirits or fairies to crypto creatures, things that maybe are within our family tree that are still hiding amongst us somehow, to the idea that, well, maybe there could be human-looking extraterrestrials. So I just put this idea out to all of our authors, Paul being one of them, and told them, here's the idea, take the ball and run with it. And boy, we got some excellent chapters.
Oh, I bet. It's really interesting. One of the first things, a couple of things that come to my mind are like the Nordics that you hear about, the creepy black-eyed children. Oh, those things scare me to death. All of those, as soon as when I first picked up the book, that hit my head, like, very quickly.
Yeah, those are some excellent examples of these types of things, whatever they are. And we try to make it a point that we're not here to offer any conclusions or belief systems or anything like that, because we really don't know. The only thing that I think that that all of us as writers can definitively say is that humanity has interacted with other intelligence for thousands of years. That these intelligence a lot of times have come to us looking like us. And again, whether or not that is their true form or not, that's the point. And again, what I've put out there before is why the human shape? Why do these things come to us looking like us? Is it because, well, we wouldn't accept anything else, or are there other reasons? And and Paul could address that as well with some of the excellent chapters that he wrote for this book. But the main point is that we're probably not alone on this planet. That there are other intelligence either physical, spiritual, interdimensional, or all of the above.
Yes, yeah, I definitely agree with that. So, if they're coming back in human form, do you guys believe it's easier to deceive us that way? Because you hear of people missing every day.
Oh, absolutely, DeeDee. I mean, there are entities out there that are very deceiving. They will start, they will start crying like a baby. So here this person is hearing this baby crying out in the woods someplace. So he follows that sound, and when he gets there, he's attacked by some kind of strange entity. So, even myself, I've experienced that. And my brother, my brother Joe, he went to St. Lucia, and he heard stories about the T-Bolum. And the T-Bolum is like a little devil. And it is known on this island that it will imitate the sounds of a baby crying. And this one gentleman who actually encountered this T-Bolum, the little devil jumped on his chest and was trying to suck out his soul. And this is what he was claiming. He had a shortness of breath, and he felt like he was ready to die. And somehow he managed to get away from this little creature. And some of the people actually believe that if you place a raw egg underneath your pillow, this T-Bolum will appear and be your servant and do anything that you want it to do. And these people in St. Lucia, they actually believe this. This is a story that goes around the island, and they say that some people say they actually witnessed this little creature, and it's very ugly and scary and everything else. And the mimicking is the part that it sounds like a baby crying.
Wow. That would probably freak me out, because I'd be all over the woods looking for the baby.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I hear a kitten and I'm like halfway down the street. Where is it?
Oh, yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, if it wasn't a baby and it was like a little dog whimpering, I would be out there chasing it, and hopefully I don't encounter some little devil.
Yeah. So that would also bring up the point of gnomes, the fae, all of those creatures that lure people in.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. A lot of these stories also involve, and this is something that still exists today. You go to any site that aggregates recent news, paranormal-related news stories, you hear all kinds of reports of people who will hear something calling their name, say like from the woods.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oftentimes sounding like a loved one. There was a very famous video that was taken. It's probably been maybe about 5 years ago, of this gentleman out west someplace who was on his horse going around his ranch, and several times you hear this voice coming from the kind of like the thicket off the side of the pathway, going, "Hey, hey," like that, and the horse physically reacts and turns around and goes back. I don't think the rancher was too eager to stop it either. But see, those are just excellent examples of how these old stories still exist with us today. In various forms. Now, Paul pointed out about the the sounds of babies crying. Well, I mean, this also happens in big cities, where people have reported that they have heard, say, like outside their apartment door, the sound of a baby crying. And fortunately, some of these people who have actually gone to look, didn't find anything. But to me, that's the same kind of trickster element at play, today. So
Yeah, it's really interesting. My brother a couple months back told me he had a really weird experience in his apartment complex. He had a knock on the door, and I have a brother who passed away in 2004, and it was my brother's voice. And he said, "Can you come out?" And my brother said he pushed his futon against the door and backed up for a minute, and he just sat there. And once he didn't come out, he didn't hear from it again.
Wow.
I thought that was really interesting.
That is.
Yeah, and this is something I think Paul can address, because it's a story like that. Because some people at first would think, oh well, this would be like an after death visitation that you hear about. A loved one has just recently passed on, and they come back just briefly to say goodbye. And I think Paul will agree with this. I think there's something else going on with something like your brother's story.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And Tim, you mentioned something, and it just clicked in my head. One of the reasons why I got into the paranormal is because as a child, I lived in a haunted house on Effie Street in Fresno. And everything was centered on me. The entities in that home centered, it seems like, their anger on me. I was having horrible nightmares. I was seeing skulls with wings flying into the room. I had a situation where my dad came into the room to see why I was screaming, and his face was in a skull. I'm going to get to in this haunting, there was a mimic type entity, and I'm going to explain that. But I'm going to just tell you the few things that happened to me there. One entity actually pushed me into the heater, burning my leg. So I was really, really being terrorized. And one of the scariest things was like this thing I could hear on the sidewalk coming down towards the house. And my window opened up halfway, and this thing that looked like a black tea kettle floated up to where the window was open, and the snout, this steam came out. And this steam, the next day, I was very, very sick. And and another situation was where I was coughing because somehow the entities were making me cough. My mother came in, and actually she thought she was giving me cough syrup, but she gave me poison. And yes, and she made me throw up. Now here's where the mimic comes in. So I was looking out the bedroom window to the orange grove, and I heard a woman who sounded like my mother saying, "Dale," which is my middle name, and they called me Dale. "Dale, come here. Dale, come here." And she was trying to entice me to go into the orange grove. Well, I almost did, and as I was going into the kitchen, there was my mother. So it was somehow, if I went into that orange grove, I feel something very horrible would have happened to me. And that entity was mimicking my mother.
Wow. So do you guys, when you hear people say they wake up early in the morning with people that they recognize saying their name, is that a mimic, you believe?
It very possibly could be, yes. Oh,
Interesting.
yes. Like in Tim's book, I mean, he talks about so many type of entities. I don't think he missed any, but you have. I mean, even the former President Eisenhower seems like he had a mimic. He had Valiant Thor, which you'll find in the book. And Valiant Thor looked like a human. I mean, if you're walking down the street, you wouldn't really pay attention to him because he's so human-like. So if he was really an alien, well, he really looked like